A major security scare has rocked New York City. An improvised explosive device, IED, was thrown at the residence of New York Mayor Zohran Mamdani during a protest on March 7th. The NYPD confirmed that Commissioner Jessica Tisch confirmed that one of the devices thrown in Mamdani's house was an IED, while another suspicious device is still undergoing forensic testing. Authorities say the situation could have turned deadly if the device had detonated in the crowded protest zone. CBS News, citing two sources, reported that the IEDs contained triacetone triperoxide, or TATP, a volatile explosive material. Another suspicious device was found on March 8th in a vehicle on East End Avenue, about 3 blocks south of the park where Gracie Mansion is located. The incident prompted limited evacuations of buildings in the vicinity while the bomb squad assesses and removes the device. The investigation intensified after police discovered another suspicious object inside a parked vehicle on East End Avenue between 81st and 82nd Streets. Bomb squad teams rushed to the area, secured the block, and carried out limited evacuations of nearby buildings before safely removing the object for further testing. The incident began at around 11 a.m. on March 7th, when a small protest of around 20 demonstrators gathered under the banner "Stop the Islamic Takeover of New York City," reportedly linked to conservative activist Jake Lang. Soon, a counter-protest was organized under the banners "Run the Nazis Out of New York" and "Stand Against Hate." It drew about 125 people. Police say an 18-year-old suspect, Emir Balat, allegedly threw incendiary devices during the confrontation. 6 people were arrested as officers moved in to restore order and prevent further violence. The case is now being investigated by the Federal Bureau of Investigation through its Joint Terrorism Task Force, working alongside the NYPD and federal prosecutors. In a strong statement, Mayor Mamdani condemned both the hateful rhetoric behind the protest and the violent escalation that followed. He thanked the NYPD for the officers' quick response and condemned the protest, which he said was organized by Jake Lang, whom he described as a white supremacist.
I am here to brief you on a situation that occurred earlier today during protests outside of Gracie Mansion, from which footage of suspicious devices has been circulating on social media. The information that I am about to provide is preliminary and it is subject to change. At approximately 11 a.m., 2 separate demonstrations, a protest and a counter-protest, commenced in the area of East End Avenue and East 87th Street. The initial protest, called "Stop the Islamic Takeover of New York City, Stop New York City Public Muslim Prayer," organized by individuals associated with far-right provocateur Jake Lang. At 12:15 p.m., a protester associated with the Jake Lang group used pepper spray against counter-protesters and was arrested thereafter. At approximately 12:38 p.m., a counter-protester identified as Emir Balat, an 18-year-old man, lit and threw an ignited device toward the protest area, landing in the crosswalk of East 87th Street and East End Avenue. Witnesses reported seeing flames and smoke as it traveled through the air before it struck a barrier and extinguished itself a few feet from police officers. Mr. Balat then ran southbound on East End Avenue toward 86th Street and gets a second device from a man tentatively ID'd as Ibrahim Nick, 19 years old. Mr. Balat lights the device, and starts running with it. He then drops the device on the west side of East End Avenue between East 86th and East 87th Streets. The bomb squad responded and examined the devices. Based on preliminary examination and X-ray imaging, the devices, which were a bit smaller than a football, appear to be a jar wrapped in black tape, importantly, with nuts, bolts, and screws, along with a hobby fuse that could be lit. At this time, we do not yet know whether the devices were functional improvised explosive devices or hoax devices, because we don't yet know if there was energetic material contained in them. In total, 6 arrests were made today in connection with the events. Those arrests include the 2 individuals responsible for handling and deploying the devices, the individual who used pepper spray earlier in the protest, and additional arrests related to disorderly conduct and obstructing traffic. This investigation remains active, and we will continue working to analyze the devices and to determine whether anyone else may have been involved.
News never stops. The world keeps turning, and every turn tells a story. Wars, elections, geopolitics, Davids versus Goliaths.
While everyone is celebrating the US-China trade thaw, Trump has been quietly doing something else across Asia.
These were once home to the ancient Silk Road connecting east and west.
But who's connecting the dots? Who's decoding the global storm? Welcome to Times of India videos.
You're watching a special edition of Global Pulse with me, Neha Khanna.
בהנחיה שלי ושל שר הביטחון ישראל כץ.
Durante este año,
We decode the shifting grains of geopolitics to you. From Washington to Wuhan.
Встановлені домовленості і сьогодні підписуюча
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Just 2 years ago, Canada was one of the most popular countries for Indian students.
From Davos to Delhi, we track the decisions that move markets, shift policies, and shape the future. No jargon, no bias, just clear, credible, global journalism. Because understanding the world doesn't have to be complicated, it just has to be smart. And that's what we do best. At Times of India videos, we don't just tell stories, we build perspective. We connect the dots between what's global and what's personal, what's happening out there, and what it means for you. It's fast. It's fearless. It's making sense of the changing world order. Times of India videos. Because your worldview is just a tap away.